So we'll need the TVP, soy stuff there, an onion, garlic, fresh garlic if you've got it, tin stuff if you don't, the beef stock powder. I've got this one here, a chicken salt, but it's got no actual chicken in it. Some of the chicken salts you can buy have animal product in it, so we won't use those. There's a bacon seasoning one with no animal products, completely animal free. Black pepper, yeast flakes, mixed herbs, ground up. Sweet chili sauce, barbecue sauce. The first thing we'll do is we'll get the onion and we'll dice that up and fry it off with some garlic. Finely diced onion, which we'll put into a hot pan. So into a hot pan, some of the garlic and the finely diced onion, and we'll cook that off for a few minutes, just so it's not raw. So in the meantime, with a cup, we'll put in 1 cup of the TVP. So 1 cup into a bowl, and then so not quite the full cup, close to it, of hot water. Doesn't have to be boiling, but fairly close to it, fairly hot out of the tap. We'll pour that in and give that a mix. And then while we give that a mix around, we'll add some a bit of the black pepper, the bacon seasoning, not the chicken salt, the beef stock powder. So into that's gone a heaped teaspoon of the stock powder, a heaped teaspoon of the bacon powder, and a few grinds of the black pepper. And then we'll add in all of that. It's like a tablespoon of the mixed herbs. Give that. Now we'll add like a heaped tablespoon of the yeast flakes. Give that a mix around, and then we'll add 2 tablespoons of the sweet chili, and the same again of the barbecue sauce. There we go, so that's in there. We'll give that a mix around. And then just to keep it a little bit more wet, we might add, you can either add some Worcestershire sauce or some soy sauce, tablespoon, either or. So back on the stove here, we've got the onions that are all cooked off. They're all soft, just a tad bit of colour, and that's off now. So we'll add that into our mix. Alright, so the onion's in. What I also like to do now is add a grated carrot or 2. I don't have any zucchini. Usually I put a grated zucchini in as well. What you could also do if you wanted to, you could put a tin of lentils in it to expand the mixture more, but I'm not going to put the lentils in. Just the carrot and zucchini, but I don't have the zucchini, but that's what I usually would put in it. Well prepared, aren't I? Right, so we've got the grated carrot. We'll mix that in. Right, I've mixed that in, and I've also added about a teaspoon of the chicken salt. We'll mix that in, and so it's still fairly wet here like that. So we'll thicken it up now. We'll put some flour in it. I'm just using some the wholemeal plain flour. I've also got some rice flour here. I used on the outside of the coating, so I'll put that onto a plate. So we'll add in some of the plain flour into a mix, and until we get that into a good consistency. Alright, so that's about the consistency. I want it. And we'll make little patties out of those now, and then once we get the small patties in, we'll coat them in the flour and then put them onto the plate ready for frying. So when you're moulding it from here, before you put it in, it's easier to do it if your hands are wet, so being close to the tap, have wet hands to mould them, put them into there and then dry your hands thoroughly and go into the flour. So there's a lot of hand washing going on during this. Alright, we're getting to the end of it there, just about. Into the rice flour, onto the plate, and then that'll go into a hot pan. Now there's no particular reason I use rice flour to coat them in. You can use plain flour if you don't have any rice flour. Just find it a bit more gritty and different. Into a hot pan, we'll chuck a few of these and cook them and turn them and put them on a plate when they're done. The good thing I've found about all these pretend meat type dishes is none of it actually has to cook, it just has to colour because it's not meat. Okay, now we can construct our burgers. I get these little dinner rolls from the bakery. Just check with your bakery to see if they've got any dairy products in them. Sometimes they make them with milk or milk powder, butter. These ones haven't got any dairy products in them. I've got some cheese here. It's the that type of cheese. It's not too bad actually. And then with beetroot and lettuce, tomato, onion. There's also a vegan mayonnaise, S&W brand, quite good. And we'll pop that all together. You can use whatever sauces you want, barbecues, mustards, tomato. And